Hello everyone, I am Mintu Mahin and welcome to another session. In today's video, we will be focusing on the topic Attributes of Pandas series from Python Pandas for Class 12 Informatics practices. If you are preparing for your CBSE board examinations or simply want to strengthen your Python skill, this video is for you. Let's get started. These are the topics for today's session. First one, Attributes of Python Pandas series. Second one, alien and count function. Before we jump into the attributes, let's recall what is Pandas series. What is Pandas series? In the last session, you learned what is Pandas series. What is that? It is a data structure, right? It is a Pandas data structure. A series is a Pandas data structure, one-dimensional array-like Pandas data structure. And it contains what? It contains two arrays, which are the array of data and array of index. So a series is a Pandas data structure that represents a one-dimensional array-like object containing an array of data and an associated array of data labels. So attributes of Pandas series. All information related to the series object can be retrieved through attributes. The information related to a series, we can retrieve those information about the series by using the attributes. And how to write attributes? First, the name of the series dot attribute name. Here we don't use parenthesis. After the attribute name there is no parenthesis. It's just series name dot attribute. So the first one is index attribute. The index attributes shows the labels assigned to each value in the series. So here this is a series, right? This is an example for a series created by using a list. Here we have array of data and array of index. So which are the values in this series? 10, 20, 30, 40. What about the index? A, B, C, D. This index will be returned. The index attribute shows the labels assigned to each value in the series. So how to write? How to print the series index? Print the name of the series, that is data dot index. This is how we access the index. Now the index will be returned. A, B, C, D will be returned. So this is the first attribute, that is index attribute. You should know how to write the output and how to access the index also, the data. That is the series name dot index. Second one is values attribute. This returns all the values from the series. The values attribute returns the data stored inside the series as a NumPy array. Values attribute is used to return the values of the series. Which are the values of the series? 10, 20, 30, 40. Right. So this can be returned by using values attribute. And in which form it will be returned? It will be returned as a NumPy array. See here, we created the series. Now when we print data dot values, what will be returned? The array of values will be returned. So if the question is convert a series to a NumPy array, how to convert? We can use this values attribute, data dot values. It returns NumPy array with the values of the series. Third one is dtype attribute. This shows the data type of the series. It shows the data types of the series elements. So here, what is the data type? Here 10, 20, 30, 40. These are integers. So the data type is int64. By using dtype attribute, the data type will be returned. Int64 will be returned. So if you are asked to write the output of print data.dtype, you should write int64. Now if it is float here, float64, this attribute will return float64. Next is size attribute. Size attribute returns the total number of elements in the series. So in the series, total how many are there? How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 4 elements are there. That number will be returned by using size attribute. Data.size, that is series name dot size, returns the number of elements. Suppose we have a nan value here. In our series there is a nan value. Will that be returned using the count of nan also be returned using size? Yes, that also will be returned. Next is shape attribute. The shape attribute returns the shape of the series in terms of number of elements. It returns a tuple of the shape of underlying data, that is the series, including missing or empty values. So what will be returned here? A tuple will be returned. As this is one dimensional, only the first value will be there. Okay, and what will be that value? That value is the number of values in the series. So here in this series, how many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the shape attribute, that is data.shape, it returns a tuple. It is enclosed in parenthesis, right? Then the first element, comma. This is the format. The first element in the tuple is the number of values in the series. That is shape attribute. Returns a tuple with one element. That element is the number of values in the series, including NaN values. Next is nBytes attribute. Returns the number of bytes in the series. So what is this number of bytes? Here, how many elements are there here? We have 4 values or 4 elements in this series, right? Now the size in bytes for each item, that is 8. Here it is in 64, so we know the size in bytes for each item. For each item it needs 8 bytes. And total how many are there? 4. So 8 into 4, 32. That will be returned. That is nBytes. Returns the number of bytes of all the elements of the series. For each one it is 8. So for all the elements it is 8 into 4, 32 will be returned. Suppose a series contains 5 elements and integers. So what will be returned? 5 elements are there in a series. For each one it is 8. Always it is 8 bytes. So what will be returned? 8 into 5, 40 will be returned. Next, endim. Endim attribute shows the number of dimensions. Here series is one dimensional, right? So as it is one dimensional, always 1 will be returned. For any series, the endim attribute is 1. Series name or dot endim returns 1. Next, empty attribute. This empty attribute checks if the series is empty. Using this attribute, we can check whether the series is empty or not. And it returns Boolean values. Which are our Boolean values? They are true and false. Right. Now suppose if the series is empty, what will be returned? True will be returned. I'll open this. How to create a series? First we need to import Pandas. Now we will create an empty series. How to create an empty series? We use series function to create empty series, right? S equal pd dot series. Now we don't pass anything in the series function. So S is an empty series. See? Now if you write S dot empty, S dot empty, what will be returned? S is empty, right? So true will be returned. Now suppose S is not empty, we are adding some values in the series S. I am passing a list. Now in this case, S dot empty, what will be returned? False, because we have values there. Here S dot endim, what will be returned? The dimension. The dimension of series is always 1, so 1 will be returned. Okay, now here I am going to create another series. S equal pd dot series. (10.2) 1.5 6 with index. See, we have 3 values in our data list, so we should have 3 values in the index, right? Now S, this is created. So what is S dot index? S dot index, what will be returned? It returns the index ABC. If you write, when you write for the exam, you have to use print. If you want to display something, you have to use print. Okay, this will be returned. Now what about values attribute? Values attribute returns the values of the series in the form of a numpy array, right? So when we print is dot values, what will be written? See, values in the form of an array. So you should know how the output will be. Next, shape. Print is dot shape. What will be the output here? Print is dot shape. It returns a shape attribute, returns a tuple with the first value as the number of values in the list. Here in this list we have 3 values, right? These are the 3 values. So it returns inside the parenthesis the first value 3 comma. Now next is has nans attribute. This is used to check for nan values. If there is a nan value in the series, what will happen? It returns the boolean true. If there is not any nan value, if there is no nan values, it returns boolean false. See, here in our series, do we have any nan values here? No, we don't have any nan values. In that case, it will return false. Here I will create a series with nan values. S equal pd.series. How to create a series with nan values? 1. We have to use numpy, right? We need to import numpy first because nan belongs to numpy library. Then S equal pd.series. For creating series we use series function. First value, second value, third value I am giving as nan value. Okay. Now comma my index labels. So when I print S, you can see these 3 values. Here I am going to use has nans attribute. How to use? Object name dot has nans. What will be returned? Here in this series S we have nan values. So it returns true. If we don't have nan values in the series, it returns false. That is has nans. It checks for nan values, return true if there are any nan values. Next is name attribute. We can assign a name to the series using the name attribute. See, here when I print the series, there is no name here, right? Now I am going to assign a name for the series by using name attribute. Is name equal to say series 1. This is a name I am going to assign for the series S. Now when I print this, you can see name series 1. That is name attribute. We can assign a name to a series using the name attribute. Here data is the series, data dot name equal marks. Now when you print, you can see the name marks. Next is index dot name attribute. It assigns a name to the index of the series. So here S dot index dot name equal to say Z. Now when I print S, what will happen? You can see a name for the index, that is Z. That is S dot index dot name. So which are the different attributes? First one is index attribute, returns the index, the different indices of the series. Second one is value attribute. It returns the values of the series in the form of an array. Third one, dtype, returns the data type of the series. Here, we'll try the data type as well. What is the data type here? Float 64. Right. So when I write s dot dtype, see float 64 is returned. So it returns the data type of the attribute. Next, size attribute returns the number of elements in the series. Shape attribute returns a tuple with one value. That value is the number of elements in the series. N bytes. What will you return? Return the number of bytes in the series. That is, the output will be total number of values into 8. Here we have 4. So 4 into 8, 32 will be returned. Because we need 8 bytes for each element. Next is ending. It returns the dimension. Always it will be 1. Next, empty attribute. This is used to check if our series is empty or not. If the series is empty, the boolean true will be returned. If it is not empty, boolean false will be returned. Next, has/nans attribute. It is used to check whether nan values are there in our series or not. If nan values are there, it will return true. If nan values are not there, it will return false. Boolean true and false. Next is name attribute. It is used to assign a name for the series. Next, index.name. It is used to assign an index name for the series. A name for the index of the series. Next is len and count function. First one, len function. See how to use len function. We have to pass the series object to the function. Len of object. This is the series name. This object must be the series name. Then what will happen? It returns the total number of elements including nan values. Total number including nan values. We'll see here. Len. Now you have to pass the series as an argument to len function. What will be returned? 3. Here we have 3 including nan value. We have 3. 1, 2, 3. That will be returned. Next is count function. How to use count function? The object name dot count. Here we are not passing it as an argument. How to write count function? The object name dot count. And what will be returned? Returns only the count of non-nan values in a series object. It will return only non-nan values. See here, how many non-nan values are there? 2. So we'll see what is count function. What will be returned by using the count function? Series name dot count will return 2 because we have only 2 values here. So len function returns the total number of elements in it including nan values. The total here also in this example also we have 3 values. One is nan, but the count will be returned including nan values. Next is count function. It returns only the count of non-nan values. Nan values will be omitted. Here we have 2 non-nan values, so it will return 2. And that's it. We have covered the essential attributes of Pandas series. These attributes allows us to access important information about the series and 2 functions, len and count. So thank you for watching and I will see you in the next session.